Thank you very much, PCS Musalia. Please be seated. Excellencies and colleagues, I want to be a bit unorthodox and start with the last issue that the PCS has raised here, so that we make a decision. It is important for a forum as this to incorporate the Houses of Parliament, because many of the things that we discuss here have a bearing on the work of Parliament. I would propose that for the DPF, if it is possible to incorporate the clerks of the two Houses of Parliament as ex officio or some form of involvement in the DPF, and within the joint sector working groups, the chairpersons of committees, sector committees, water and energy and so forth, participate at that level. I propose that if we did that, we'll also, and maybe because this is something I'm just thinking as I stand here, for the DPF, we can have the two clerks and the two leaders of majority, because they're the ones who move legislative business in the two houses. And then for the sector work, as the joint sector working groups, we can have the chairpersons of the departmental committees. Is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? Will as many of that opinion say aye? Anybody with a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Number two, I assume for DPF, we have incorporated the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary. Because if we haven't, I also think it is important on behalf of the judiciary, which is an independent arm of government, but which depends on SGEC. Oh, she's here. Oh, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that we are all aligned. Thank you very much, CRJ. Thank you. So I think if we do that, we are okay, because the county governments are here, the national government is here, and the development partners are here. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I will not repeat. The protocols have been established. And let me just mention for the purposes of Dr. Stephen Jackson that we might have to do another DPF before you leave. So don't say a lot of queries yet. We might have another one soon for the reason which I am going to propose in a short while. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, His Excellency the President has clarified that the government of Kenya intends going forward to recalibrate our national development agenda in a manner that helps us achieve Kenya's transformation into a first world economy within one generation. We are persuaded beyond doubt that if other countries elsewhere have done it, Kenya has what it takes to do it as well. And therefore, you have noticed in the recent past, both in the State of the Nation address that His Excellency the President gave on November 20 last year, as well as the end of year speech, it is now clear that our next vision is a vision to transform Kenya into a first world economy within a generation. South Korea did it, Malaysia did it, Singapore did it. There is no reason whatsoever why Kenya cannot do it. The paradigm to take us there, as you're aware, is the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. I'm saying this deliberately because I have seen discussions around whether we have abandoned the bottom-up economic transformation agenda for something else. We have not. We have clarified that we want Kenya to move into first world economic status within one generation, and the paradigm that will take us there is the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The drivers that will take us there are people, partnerships, and technology. And that's why the people are at the center of our development planning and development programs. We also believe technology is going to play a great role in this transformation. And thirdly, we believe that partnerships are going to play a crucial role in Kenya's transformation, for the simple fact that as the world is realizing public sector resources are not enough for the kind of needs that our nations have. And therefore, we will leverage on private sector partnerships with the public sector to get adequate resources to achieve our objectives. Again, paraphrasing the State of the Nation's address by His Excellency the President, the pillars on which this vision is anchored is number one, agriculture and water. Because we have realized agriculture carries so many people across the nation, and it is one sector which can help us lift in the shortest time possible millions of Kenyans from poverty. The statistics that are prevailing now indicate that about 20 million Kenyans live in poverty, and that number is worrying. We must reduce that number. We target reducing that number by 10 million every 10 years, and it is possible. So pillar number one is agriculture. And for us to be able to use agriculture as a tool for transforming our economy and lifting our people from poverty and creating jobs, we must move from depending on precipitation to feed the people of Kenya and to create jobs using agriculture. We are aware that there are countries which do not receive any precipitation, and you will not hear the kind of things that we discuss here every so often about drought and famine. Therefore, water harvesting is important. That is why we are embarking on a serious water harvesting and storage program to build 50 mega dams, 200 mid-sized dams, and about 1,000 mini dams across Kenya to harvest and store water for irrigation and put an additional 2.5 million acres of land under irrigation. That way, you make agriculture reliable, you strengthen food production, you reduce the amount of foreign exchange we use to import food, you secure the country's food security situation, and you create millions of jobs. And the entire ecosystem between the farming itself, whether crop farming or livestock farming, and the value addition and agro-processing, that ecosystem creates enough jobs to lift quite a number of people. Currently, living in poverty into a more prosperous economic situation. Number two, we believe this transformation is going to be anchored on a serious upgrade of our infrastructure, especially roads, airports, seaports, and railways. And that is why we have developed some ways of hastening the construction of more roads, upgrading of more roads, including dual carriageways, through PPPs and other innovative ways. Because if we go at the pace we are going, we will not reach where we want to reach in the speed and the time which we are looking at. Therefore, we have a very ambitious program to expand the road networks in Kenya, to elongate the railway from where it is in Naivasha into the border with Uganda, to modernize our main seaport in Mombasa and our second port in Lamu, and also to put up a new international airport in Nairobi. And all that should happen in the shortest time possible. We have looked at all the challenges and the risks, and we have a way of making sure that it happens without any delay, without any excuses going forward. Other than agriculture and water as pillar number one, and infrastructure, and by infrastructure, we are talking about roads, seaports, railways, and our airports. We believe those ones will stimulate, first of all, in quite a number of jobs, because public infrastructure activity creates jobs and also stimulates industry and manufacturing because of what goes into building those infrastructure projects. Other than that, energy, which Sebastian has raised, is critical. We have determined we need an additional 7,000 megawatts of electricity to bring into a total of 10,000 megawatts to be able to sustain not only the current situation, but an expanded industrial base for our transformation. Those are the three pillars: energy, infrastructure, and agriculture and water. To fund this very ambitious program, we have established two funds, and I think we are at the tail end of finalizing the legislative framework for that. One is the Sovereign Wealth Fund, where money obtained from our extractive industry is put for purposes of securing the nation against shocks, including climate change shocks and other external economic shocks that can disrupt us, pandemics,